بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Hello, my name is Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin and welcome to today's edition of Ramadan Diaries. It is Monday, in fact a very busy day, but I would be speaking to Zainab Fofana, Chief Executive Officer of Roe Foundation here in Kumasi. She would be sharing her experience with me on Ramadan when she fasted here in Ghana and the time she moved to London. We just want to engage her about the experience she went through in Ghana and in London. We would also be finding out when, at what age she started fasting here in Ghana. Madam Zainab Fofana, can you please tell us brief about yourself?
Right. My name is Zainab Fofana. I'm married with 4 children. I'm a Muslim, a very dedicated Muslim as such. I traveled when I was a bit younger, in my early 20s, and I traveled to London, and I stayed there for over 13 years before I came down to Ghana. And I started working at Maria Montessori School as the head teacher there. I also find out that my community is a bit less deprived, so I also volunteered to open an NGO whereby we decided to support children with educational empowerment, girl child education, and women empowerment.
Did you have any opportunity to attend Arabic school? What do you remember about your childhood days?
I did marketing and accounting initial stage, and later in the near future when I traveled, being a mother, I realized that I needed to have a change of career. So I went into education. I read education, and after that I did my PGC at the university, and then when I finished I started teaching in a primary school in London before I came down to Ghana.
How was it like growing up in a family with different religious background?
Coming from the north, my paternal side and my maternal side, they had this a bit of conflict about religious background. My mother's side, most of them are Christians, and few of them are Muslim. When I was a bit younger, going to Islamic studies was like a roller coaster with me, yes. But when I grew up, I developed the interest and I attended a little bit. I remember about being with a lot of children. I was a happy child, although I lived with my grandmother for a while before, joining my parents. My grandmother was so sweet. I enjoyed my childhood very well. Whenever a teacher, discipline me and I come home and I tell my grandmother, she follows me up to school, and then, she goes and, have a little quarrel with the teachers and telling them that they should not discipline her granddaughter. The environment was cool. It wasn't like a nuclear family. It was more like a polygamous family, and it was good. Growing up in a polygamous family was good because everybody was looking after each other. It was a bit difficult because you get confused sometimes. You don't understand. You sometimes want to follow what the others are doing, and sometimes you want to follow what your dad is telling you to do. And if I had the opportunity to be in the Islamic school for, let's say, continuously, I might be able to take decision at that moment. But when I was young, I wasn't able to take a decision. Sometimes I escape and run away from Islamic studies sometimes and come home.
Let's talk about Ramadan. Do you remember the first time you started fasting?
The first time I started fasting was when I was at the age of 14. My grandmother, she's a Muslim. She encourages me to fast, and sometimes I will be able to, I do up to 12 o'clock and then I'll drink water. And then sometimes I try to finish it up till 6:30.
That was when, and how was the experience?
That was when I was at the age of 14 years. That was my first fast. It was very difficult, extremely very difficult, and but she did her best to, to tell me how important it is to, to fast, and that when you fast, you realize how to give, how to be sympathetic, and also how to feel how someone is hungry as well.
Did you in any way forget that you were fasting in the past?
As a child, sometimes, you get tired and, you go and play, run up and down, and then you realize that, oh, I'm thirsty. No one is watching. And then you just go and then, go and sip a water and then come out, oh, I'm fasting, I'm fasting. But as time goes on, you realize that others are not doing it. So the environment will, help you to, to fast without even you taking water. And you realize the importance of fasting.
Does it mean that you started fasting in Ghana before you moved to London?
Yes, I started fasting before I moved to London. My first full fast was at the age of 19 years. When I had my first full fast, I was able to fast throughout the Ramadan. And after that, even though there are some days that as a woman you might miss, I was able to complete it after then. And since then, I've been a dedicated faster.
Your first Ramadan in London, how was it like? Were you excited or sad?
Right. Initial stage, I was excited. But when I realized that I had to fast for more than the minimum hours, I panicked initial stage. Okay, it depends on the month, because during summer, we fast up to 12 hours. Then sometimes we fast up to 15, 16 hours. Sometimes even 18 hours, depending on the sunset. Because during summer like this in London, the sun sets around 10:30. From 10 to 10:30, it sets. And then dawn again, we have to eat very early because the sun will rise even around from 1 o'clock, 1 a.m. So we have to eat quickly. You don't even sleep, just continue eating, and then that's it. And then you just get prepared for the, the fasting. Initially, I was excited, as I said. But when I realized the time, has to go beyond what I'm used to, I panicked a little. But thanks be to Allah, I alighted where, I had my family, they were all Muslims.
Now, the weather condition in London, did it affect your Ramadan? How did you feel in your first Ramadan in London?
During winter is the time that we really celebrate in London, because during that time, we break our fast around 4:15, whereas Ghana, you have to break it around 6:30. So during winter, when it falls during winter, we are so happy about it. And then we call Ghanaians, calling them up, oh, we have taken some water, what about you? We start having that type of conversation.
Did you miss Ramadan in Ghana? Did you in any way think about how you fasted in Ghana?
I do miss a lot, like the congregation, the breaking of the fast, the family ties, the environment, the way we dress, the way we approach people, the way we communicate. I really miss it a lot. Back in England, you are on your own, a nuclear family. Sometimes, your hubby goes out to work for 8 hours to 12 hours. By the time he comes, you just see him for few hours. And then you're alone with the kids, or the kids have gone to school. So it's not easy fasting alone in England. But in Ghana, you have the family, and the emotional boost is there.
Let's talk about food. I know food is very important. I mean, during Ramadan, did you get the wake, the banku, the fufu, the kose, the Hausa porridge, and the kuli kuli and the rest? Did you get them in London?
Okay, right. The kose, we have to improvise ourselves. We have to soak it. As usual, I had to prepare the kose, and then we fry it. And then we fry the pinka, so quite a lot. Every Friday, we fry a lot, take it to the magistrate for distribution. Mostly, that's what we do within the community. So, like, we have some friends. Okay, if you do this week, the following week, the other friend will also do, the family friend will also do. So we fry a lot of kose and then take it to the mosques. For the cocoa, we have a sachet cocoa powder that is already made. So we buy that one and then sieve it, prepare the cocoa, and then we use it to break our fast. Dates, It's just all over. It's even, more quality than the one in Ghana here, the dates. It tastes sweet. The aroma itself, it smells good. There's difference between breaking your fast in England and breaking your fast in Ghana. And then when it comes to the fruit as well, the fruits, the taste are different. With the Ghana one, you get it organic, 100%. You enjoy it whilst you are eating it. And then, you feel content with what you have.
Today, you are fasting in Ghana. I mean, you have already started the fasting here in Ghana. What have you missed about London?
You're right. I missed my friends. I missed the fruits and the dates. I also missed what I used to do normally, like Fridays, frying the pinkaso here and there, packaging it, taking it to the mosque, sitting around people, talking about Ghana, how Ghanaians are, fasting and how they are breaking their fasting. That is where the women, we start talking about, Ghana. And those who have come, we want to ask them, how was it? How is Ghana? What are they doing? How is the atmosphere? I've missed that one.
Let's talk about the situation where people come to the mosque to beg. Do you have such people in London coming to the mosque to either beg for food or come to eat food in the mosques in London, just as we see here in Ghana?
Okay, as in London, for the Ghanaians, it's very difficult to find someone in that condition. But from the Romanians, the Muslim Romanians, some of them do come to beg for food. Some of them even sleep in the mosques. But those who are in need basically are those who came from the desert and they are in need, they don't know anybody, and they fall in the arms of the mosques, and whereby we have to feed them if they are available at that moment. But sometimes they don't really stay for long, because we Ghanaians within the London community, we do help a lot. So if someone just arrives and the person is in need, we'll keep on asking, oh, can you accommodate A or B? Can you do this for this person? And then within 3 to 4 weeks, the person will get a home to stay.
What unique thing do you intend to do in this month of Ramadan?
The unique thing, I don't see anything about uniqueness, because it's something I'm used to it. For this year, like yesterday, it was Sunday, we prepared the same kose and sent it to a mosque yesterday. We spent the whole evening there, we prayed there throughout. It's something I'm used to it, and I'm going to continue doing it. Something unique, I must say, I would do is, waking up at dawn, extra prayers, Laylatul Qadr, I have to pray extra more, because I've opened a foundation. I'll commit it to Allah, and then I think I've frozen from there.
As a woman and a mother, what can you say about ladies who act like chameleons in the month of Ramadan?
Okay, as a woman, it's pathetic. I use the word pathetic because you cannot be two-faced. Within our communities and the young ladies, some of them during the fasting period, they cover themselves very well. Let me even use the word 100% of the ladies do cover themselves very well, because the holy month of Ramadan. And afterwards, after the Ramadan, you find that they have relaxed and they go back to what they are doing. I see it's wrong, and I see that we can still do more about it in the community. We have to be who we are. We have to portray and exhibit the Islam in us. Sometimes a lady can go wayward a little bit, but sometimes if that lady goes a little bit of wayward, we, the community, the young women activates can, bring them back in line. That remember, you are a Muslim, you have to be a full-time Muslim, not a part-time Muslim. My final words is I'm excited this Ramadan, and I pray that Allah should guide all of us through this Ramadan, and then we should see, the Eid that is coming, that it should be a successful Eid for us, and then Allah should bless us to guide us whatsoever that we need, that we are praying for individually in the world. Allah should provide for us. And I'm also praying that those who are sick in the hospital, Allah should also heal them as well.
That was Chief Executive Officer of Rope Foundation here in Kumasi. She shared her experience about the month of Ramadan here in Ghana and when she traveled to London some years back. I mean, she actually explained how she grew up in a family with different religious background and how it nearly affected her faith. But the most interesting part is when she mentioned about how they prepare food in London. I really like that part because, you know, during the month of Ramadan, food is always important. And so everybody would want to have a better food to eat. So Zainab Fofana actually touched on those things, and we really appreciate her time with us, the team at Ramadan Diaries. And we thank all of you for watching today's edition. We'll come again next week with another edition of Ramadan Diaries. My name has always been Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. Assalamu alaikum.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.